Started at 4 o'clock. Can we have the roll call, please?
Chair Blair Sickler.
Here.
Vice Chair DeAndre Poole.
Here.
Secretary Treasurer Jean Enright.
Present.
Commissioner Marisa Landas. Commissioner Wayne Richards.
Present.
Executive Director Michael Meekins.
Present.
Court Attorney John Fumero.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, can we rise for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Additions, deletions,
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an agenda item, discussion for homeless rep, RQ,
for,
for future projects.
okay. Do you want it for this meeting, or put it on for next meeting, or?
We can put it on for next meeting.
All right, so why don't, it's probably best then just to get the director and we'll put it on for next meeting, go over it with him, and then we'll just add it to, okay? That'll probably be, then we all can get some backup. Additions, deletions, did you say we had anything?
There are
Nothing?
none, sir.
No? Good. All right, so do we have approval of the agenda?
So moved.
So moved, Commissioner Richards. Second, Commissioner Poole. All in favor, all opposed. Carries 4-0. Commissioner Doss, not here. Approval of the minutes. We have the motion for approval of the minutes. Commissioner Poole. Second, Commissioner Enright. All in favor, all opposed, say aye. All opposed. 4-0. Commissioner Doss not here. Presentations and announcements.
Sir, you have two memorial resolutions in front of you.
Okay. The first resolution is the Board of Commissioners of the Port of Palm Beach honoring Palm Beach Harbor Pilot Bill Messer. And I'll go ahead and read it, and then Ann can come on up. And whereas the Port of Palm Beach District is a political subdivision of the state of Florida having certain powers as defined in the Port of Palm Beach Charter. Whereas the Port of Palm Beach District from time to time recognizes individuals whose humanitarian and civic contributions are outstanding. Whereas the Port of Palm Beach District mourns the loss of longtime Palm Beach pilot Bill Messer, who passed away July 13, 2025. Whereas Bill dedicated 32 years as a harbor pilot guiding vessels through our waters. Bill was not only a highly respected mariner, but also a cherished member of the port community whose passion for the sea and compassion for others left a lasting impact. Bill's maritime career began at the United States Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, where he trained to serve as an officer in the U.S. Merchant Marine, and his dedication to his work as a Palm Beach harbor pilot was rooted in a true love for the sea. He considered it a privilege to collaborate with fellow harbor pilots each day, helping to ensure safe and efficient movement of ships through the port. His knowledge and experience and steady presence made him a trusted leader on the water, and during the difficult time, the Port of Palm Beach District extends its deepest condolences to the Bill Messer family, friends, and all those lives he touched. Whereas may be resolved, the Board of Commissioners of the Port of Palm Beach District formally hereby honors the memory of Bill Messer, recognizing his outstanding service and dedication. Be it resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to the Palm Beach pilot Bill Messer's family as a token of our deepest sympathy and gratitude for his years of service, the 18th day of September 2025. And just to add to this, I've knew Bill for probably 40 years. We used to play basketball together over at the JCC. So, Ann, come on up and maybe we can get a picture.
sitting down, we need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Okay, a motion, Commissioner Richards, second. Commissioner Poole, all in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. And the second one, do we have, I don't know if we have anybody from Lee Spencer's family here today. We do not. So we'll go ahead and send this out. I guess Lee Spencer, my first term on the commission, Lee was on the commission at that time. He kind of guided me quite a bit. I think he was 102 years old.
That's correct.
Or something like that.
Yes.
When he just passed away. And his family's been in Palm Beach County forever. So we'll make sure that his family does get the resolution.
I move approval of the resolution.
Okay, Commissioner Richards, second. Commissioner Enright, all in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Very good. Yes.
I met a young lady the other day, and she said her grandfather was a court commissioner, and his name is Leroy Bishop. Do you know him?
He was been way back. Yeah. Yeah. I think there was a I don't know if he was a commissioner, but I think there was a bishop. He wasn't an executive director. Okay. We'll have to look that up. Okay. All right. Consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that anybody wants to pull? If not, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Richards, second Commissioner Enright. Any discussion? All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Okay, district reports.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. The statistical information for the month ending July 2025. All of the tonnages on cargo and TEUs are both up. The passengers, again, that's skewed because of the schedule change. I wanted to let you know that on Tuesday, last Tuesday, we went ahead and filed our next PID Port Infrastructure Development Program, and right now that's looking pretty good. On our current one, Gary's going to go ahead and give you a pretty thorough update. I did want to let you know we did push back the ribbon cutting. The reason for that was there is a camera system that CBP has switched to that we have to install before we can get ourselves active. So we can't tear down what's existing until that's in place. The camera system itself costs about $100,000. We're trying to look at our alternatives now, but we couldn't, even if we wanted to put it on their fiber system, we would have to run a separate fiber system, which again would run a couple $100,000 in order to complete that. With that being said, Tropical can't start their testing and make sure everything works the way it's supposed to until that system's in place as well. So we're pushing back for right now. As soon as we have a better idea, we'll let you know. I will let you know that PNNL, one of the companies that works with Customs and that is working for them with us, they have one other customer that has been waiting for this system since February. So we could be waiting a while. We'll see what kind of an impact that has and get back with the board. With that, I attended the Florida Ports Council annual meeting in Longboat Key, Florida. The Florida Ports Council are suggesting a number of changes. Right now, we're going through some administrative issues with FDOT and the Department of Commerce, how the funds will be spent, how they'll be run. So we'll work through that in the next couple of months. We actually scheduled an additional meeting for October 14th to try and come up with some of the areas and some of the ways we can do that, as well as an additional FSTED meeting that was just added recently. The Florida Department of Transportation, nice to say that we actually received some more grant money through that process. With Longboat Key, the Florida Ports Council approved us getting some additional funds. I'll have more information on that once they get through FDOT, but we did receive some additional funds, which is always good news. I continue to have productive meetings with Margaritaville at Sea, really doing well, tweaking the current operation that's out there, working towards the future. If you look right now in the cruise business, this time frame, always from when the kids go back to school until Thanksgiving, things kind of, slow down very much in the cruise industry. The way our contract was previously written, it had a minimum amount of trips as well as a minimum amount of passenger guarantee. What we'll probably do is send an amendment to the board here soon that will change the trips. Basically, what it'll do is to go to a minimum annual passenger guarantee and take out the trips portion. Really has no effect on us, but it gives them the flexibility that during this down frame, they could possibly run 8-10-day cruises down somewhere farther south and maybe attract more people. They're doing very, very well as far as filling the vessel, except for this downtime, which is a downtime within the whole industry. It'll just give them a little bit more flexibility, but we'll bring that to you later on. Port-related events, there were a whole lot of port-related events. Director of Contract Compliance and Tenant Relations, Takaria, provided a presentation to the members of the Greater West Palm Beach Women's Club. The group also got a chance to tour the port. On August 21st, we met with representatives from Discover the Palm Beaches to review the latest tourism figures and data. The discussion highlighted travel trends, visitor demographics, and opportunities for future collaboration to strengthen the region's economic impact through tourism. On September 10th, the Director of Security and Operations, Rick, provided a virtual active shooter training to our staff and our tenants. It was very well participated. September 11th, Public Information Officer Yachty provided a presentation and tour to the members of the Palm Beach County School District Transition Team to educate them on the port and the job opportunities at the port and available for local students and after high school. On September 15th, Florida Power and Light External Affairs Manager, Manatee Lagoon Manager, and other members of the team visited the port. We provided them with an overview of our operations and our environmental initiatives. On September 18th, the Tropical Shipping Team, which today, and you probably saw so many cars down in the parking lot, held their annual wellness fair in the cruise terminal. Port employees were welcome to attend. It was very well attended by their employees. It was a packed house for quite a while. I just wanted to say congratulations on a website redesign launch September 4th. If you hadn't had the chance to take a look at it, it really is a whole lot easier to get around, to maneuver through, and provides a whole lot more information really readily available. Really nice job done by Yachty and our contractor. For items coming up on the schedule, AAPA, FPC, and other scheduled events, Port Everglades Association Luncheon, October 2nd and 3rd. I was invited as a special guest for being elected as the president of the Florida Ports Council. AAPA 2025 Annual Convention is on October 6th through the 9th in Quebec City. Commissioner Poole, myself, and Yari are all attending. Florida Ports Council planning meeting, that's a new one that got added now for October 14th in Orlando. The Fuel Supply and Disaster Readiness Workshop, I need to attend that, and that's November 2nd through the 4th at Fort Lauderdale Airport. AEPA Port and Terminal Management Training, February 10th and 13th in Long Beach, California, and right now nobody's scheduled to attend that. APA Annual Legislative Summit in March 3rd through the 6th, so mark your calendars for that one as well. And that is the report.
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you. Engineer report.
Good afternoon, everybody. Gary Dunmeyer, Port Engineer. So today I want to talk to you about a few of the projects I've been working on. The first one is the Mullins project. For your all's reference, that is right here, where all the cars are. So this project is 100% complete. It's wrapped up. Some of the key features are a lot of exfiltration trench. So when you make a pervious area impervious, you need to be able to hold the water somewhere. That's what the trench does. We've got a trench drain, which is pretty interesting to install. And then we relocated the entrance for merchants to accommodate the PID. And I'll talk to you about the PDIP a little bit later. And then we also installed some water main to kind of complete a water main loop. The next photo will be a close-up image. And so this is the new area. You'll notice all those cars are gone, all the grass is gone. Now we can park cargo and whatnot on there. Next slide. This first project is a two-part project. There's the cruise terminal canopy project. As you came in, you probably noticed that the canopy is starting to be installed. It slowed down a little bit, but only by perception. We were fixing a drainage problem, and so now that the drainage problem is corrected, you'll start to see that the canopy will be going up much quicker. Here's a nice photo of it. And that's just basically the pathway that leads from the cruise passenger terminal to where they park. So now they can walk to and from the meetings without getting wet. The next project is the elevator modernization. We've completed an elevator. We've got another one that's under service. We should be ready in November to have this first one here in the building opened up. If we go to this next slide, these are what the elevator will look like. That's the one, it looks like that now. All of them are going to look the same. So it's very nice looking. This next slide is very interesting. On the left, this is a 2,000-pound lift that was brought up to the roof. An interesting story there is, when they took it off the crane and they set it down and they're moving it around, it fell an inch or so from where they were lifting it. And everybody in their offices ran down to my office and said, "Gary, you didn't warn us about this." I'm happy to report everybody lived. Everybody was a little shocked. Their blood pressure went up, so we had to have meditation. And then, but it's put in and it's now working. On the right is the new control center. The one we had before was 20 years old and archaic. This one is much more modern. It's self-air conditioned, so it should last a long time and be in service for another 20 years. Next slide, please. So this is the second part of the cruise terminal parking project. This part was completed. We seal coated it and we changed the configuration of the parking. If you notice over here, the parking was going north-south. And on that image, it's now going east-west. We picked up 50 parking spaces, so I think we're around 340 now. We were 290 before. Next slide. Okay, this is the sugar gantry. This is a budgeted repair. I did a design on this, and we are using a piggyback contract. And next month's board meeting, we'll be bringing that to you for a recommendation for approval. But what we found there was we had some failing asphalt areas starting to subside and making it difficult for cargo transport. So we're going to effect a repair. And then if we're working in the area to fix the asphalt to make it better, we also wanted to relieve the congestion. Right now, vehicles can pass this intersection. They don't nearly know where they're supposed to go. Are they supposed to pass on the left or the right side of the gantry? And for y'all's reference, the gantry is right here. Okay, and that will bring us to the PDIP. Before we start this, go ahead.
So there's no striping there now. You can put striping so that it's clear where to proceed.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I have an additional question.
Sure.
The asphalt, did we find, how are we paying for that? Is it out of the PIDP or?
So every year in our capital R&R budget,
Okay.
we have an asphalt replacement program.
Okay, so we have that accounted
Yes, ma'am.
for. Thank you. Have we reached out to any contractors in terms of commencing those repairs or?
Well, what I tried to do, yes, and what I've done is I've contacted a couple of firms that do that, contractors that do that, and I found two that had piggybacking, that I could piggyback the contract for. The first price was a little high, so I found the second one.
I'm pretty sure we have one right here at the port, so.
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that. We were talking with Florida Asphalt about buying asphalt for the PDIP project. It's coming up. Mm-hmm. And so they had said that they're interested in negotiating with us some kind of special pricing.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess my question is, we've had other small businesses to do asphalt for us, and I would like us to put that out, not just pick someone, because there are other little companies that are looking for flowers and services, and it would mean a whole lot because of the economy the way it is. I think that we, my opinion is we should put it out on the street and see who applies for it and then go from there. Because in the past there have been lots of small companies who've done the asphalt job. It's not, right? It's just asphalt, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, and then they might be able to give us a better deal. You never know. So I would like to see that happen.
What's the estimate? What's the estimate of cost on something like this, you think?
Well, so there's two components to this one. I had one that was just brought to me by Tropical the other day. So I think right now the total cost estimate's probably around $120,000.
Okay. Mike, what do we usually do on something like this? I mean, going out for a bid, I mean, we do that on larger projects. on something like
we
this?
do. On something like this, we're normally getting 3 quotes or more than 3 quotes. We also look at the option of piggybacking off of some of the contracts that are out there existing. Sometimes the school board or cities have an existing contract that's already been bid out, gone through a process and vetted, and just depending on the economics, if that makes sense. But it's certainly something that we always go out and get multiple quotes for, so we can definitely do that.
Or if you know, I was just going to say, if you know anyone that is interested, they could certainly call and, go ahead, Blaine.
I thought we had an asphalt contractor, an ongoing contract with a local small business as an asphalt contractor. Yeah.
I'd have to check it to see if we have an ongoing contract. We may.
I think we do.
No, we've used a local asphalt company before, but it was a project that was less than $10,000, so I didn't have to competitively bid it per our procurement rules. And so in this case, I was trying to get this project pushed to completion, so I tried to use the most efficient and speedy. So I can certainly bid it. It's not a problem.
Okay. Any other questions?
What we can do is we can put it out and we can give you the results of who bid on it and what companies they were.
Okay. That'll be fine.
Yeah, it's of size. It'll have to come back to Port for award anyway, or to commission for award.
Okay, so it'll come back to us before anyway. Okay. Keep on going.
All right, for this next slide, before we begin, I want to kind of show you where we're talking. There's 2 little short videos. The first video is going to be of the right near the slip, and it's going to be heading from east to west. And then the second video, so the first video will start here, and then we're going to fly with the drone and kind of look at this whole rail. And then the second video will start here, and it'll go east, and then it'll head south. Kind of give you some perspective of what you're looking at while we're flying. And before we start, on this image, we're looking west towards the Skypass Bridge from Slip 2. On the right side of your screen is secondary. That's where there's a RPM gauge there, or not a gauge, but the RPM system where they drive through, they scan the cargo, and if it dings, then it goes to secondary, which is clearly shown in the photo. But what you'll see here is we've got 5 rail tracks. In the center is the black tubes. Those are the asphalt tracks, or that's where we store. But there's 5 tracks there, and then this whole area was included in the PDIP. And as we're heading west, you can kind of see the magnitude and the scope of what we've done. And then as we approach the bridge, you'll see the train. And then you'll notice here that the asphalt stops, but that's where cargo laydown stops too. And now we're starting to approach the Western Asphalt Project, which ties into the PDIP project. But you'll notice all these are new tracks. So they've all gone from the 99-pound track to the 135-pound track, and they should last us a long time. So now here we are at the main entrance, and we're starting to head east. We're passing over the main gates. You'll notice in the center of the screen that those are the WIM scales. You can drive right over those scales without having to stop, and they take the measurements. And as you keep going in, you're going to start approaching the gates that Tropical will be using to stop the vehicles. They have a number of cameras that will confirm the cargo, where it's going, who's it coming from, the weight, and whatnot. And then in the background is the CBP building, which is the Customs and Border Patrol building. That building used to be 150 feet longer until we started this project. And then on the left side of the screen is the inspection as they leave the RPM gauges. Now we're heading south. There's the Customs on the right side of the screen. We redid Avenue E. You'll notice everything's brand new out there, the new parking lot. And then in the background there it used to be a storage area. So now we're a drive-by view. This is a driver's view going through the RPMs. As he drives through, let's say he trips the gauge, he would have to stop here and then be routed to secondary. So now, bear with my flight here. This is a new drone, and I'm learning how to fly it. So now we're going to start heading to secondary, and you'll see we drive through this little cargo area, and then we stop in this area here, and then CBP, which we'll turn to, will come out of that building, inspect, and if everything's okay, then the truck will proceed back into the port and exit the port. And so that's my presentation. Really quick, let me add, when you look at the CBP, or when you look at the main entry there and the work that we did, there's 3.5 miles of conduit buried underneath that road that you don't see. There's 19.1 miles of wire that you don't see. And if you take all that wire and you strip all the wire off, that's 60,000 pounds of copper that we've buried in the road. So I thought that was really interesting, and because I like facts like that, because when you think about the human body, we've got 60,000 miles of blood vessels in our body, and you wouldn't know it. But so the port, it's the same thing. There's so much under the ground that you just don't know it's there. And I'm available for questions if you have any.
You're making engineers sound a little nerdy, but I understand.
I think it's fascinating.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So if I could, I'd also like to compliment Gonzalez. The contractor's been really good, moving ahead of schedule, which sometimes that's been a little problematic, but they have done a fantastic job with what they have done. And, we'll see how this new challenge pans out and how we work that out. But they are a good, solid contractor. And Tropical as well for working with us through this whole process. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is that copper actually being utilized, or is it just simply...
Oh, yeah, it's in the wire. So, like, if you strip everything and then melt it down and put it into a big ball.
Yeah.
It's a big ball.
What is it currently just being used for? Is it typical just...
Well, so you've got...
typical electricity, or...
Correct.
Okay.
It's sending signals, from the guard booth to the gates, from the gates to the... and so it's probably, some of that copper is probably actually fiber. And so it's actually sending internet signals and so everybody's got information everywhere they need it. And so it's pretty impressive.
Don't they currently not build optic cables with copper? They use another material now
Well,
for cost reasons, or?
Most of the time, most of the time, if it's just an electric current, it will be copper. But if it's like a data signal or something like that, then it'll be fiber optic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Government Affairs, Topinski.
Chairman, Commissioners, Richard Pinsky. I think you have in your packet just a brief update about some recent developments in Tallahassee, and then, of course, a calendar. I will say that we, from a few meetings ago, at your direction, we have vetted a few different possible policy initiatives on behalf of the port. With Director Meekins and myself, Attorney John Fermero, we've sort of vetted everything, and quite frankly, most of them all went overboard, no pun intended. But so we're really not recommending moving forward with any charter change. You all may have some questions on possible legislation and whatnot. There may be one pending issue, but we're running out of time as far as a mooring field, but that's probably not going to happen. And so happy to answer any questions. This hopefully will be a year that we will support in a big way the new president of the Florida Ports Council and make him look good. And as well any defensive policies that may come down the road, although funding is going to be the number one key issue, and that's why I put in there the forecast for the next 5 years for the state of Florida, which is bleak. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? No?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So are we're not moving forward with a charter change further specifying that the elections will be partisan? Is that correct?
That's correct. And a subsequent conversation that Attorney Fermero had with the Supervisor of Elections, General Counsel, basically agreed that what we did in our charter, we made the case that we think our charter already covers it. They finally agreed. So.
And there will be no alterations as to the voting districts?
And we again, between myself, Director Meekins, and Attorney Fermero, we decided that since we weren't worried about the partisan, then to interject an entirely new concept of resident districts, as they're called, that you have to live, it's not single member, but resident districts. If we had to change the partisan issue, that would have been a good reason to also, because the partisan elections would be for those primaries. But since we're not having to do the partisan, doing the resident district seemed to be a bridge too far.
Okay, and it's clear on the supervisor's end that she believes that our elections should be partisan.
Her attorney does.
The general, I spoke several times to the general counsel of the supervisor of elections, and they were more than comfortable
Okay.
with the current verbiage. So we didn't really see the need to, belt and suspender it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
If you recall in our last meeting, I brought it up, and you did want to just leave things the way they are, since the supervisor in elections did agree with us, and our attorney is here. So then, I brought a motion.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
That we just stay the way we are.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Commissioner reports. Wayne, you have anything?
I do not.
Gene? Yandre, you have?
I do have one
Okay.
item. The county is in the process of soliciting input from the general public, and they also have an elected official survey for the county-wide transportation master plan. They had a workshop, in-person workshop today here in Riviera Beach, the marina. And they have another workshop today from 6 to 8 at the Vista Center. So it's just soliciting support from county stakeholders. The transportation master plan also involves all 39 municipalities. So in case anyone's interested, you can always go to the county-wide master plan, ppcmoves.com website and complete the survey.
Okay. All right. Percy, you have anything?
Yes, I would just like the record to reflect that I walked in at 4:02. I did not get to stay present, so I just
All
wanted
right.
to
Yes.
verify
Mark that
Thank
down.
you.
Anything else?
No.
Engineer's back.
All right. I won't say hello. I've already done that. So our first project to look at today, this is going to be a two-parter. First two items are going to be related to the Maritime Office Complex, the AC modifications, Phase 3. We're replacing the chillers. It basically amounts to be a $1,137,654 project. So the motion or the ask is a motion to approve and authorize the executive director to sign the Train Technologies proposal.
Okay. Everyone have a chance to look that over. We have a motion by Commissioner Enright, second by Commissioner Poole. Any discussion? All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0.
Okay. The next item is to have our engineer oversee this work, so it's for EC Fennell. So the ask is a motion to approve work order with EC Fennell number 2025-001 PPB for the not-to-exceed amount of $47,665.84.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Poole, second Commissioner Richards. Any discussion? All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Next
Okay.
item.
And this next item, I'm going to point to the aerial one more time, just so everybody knows where we're at, but this is for the warehouse. So last month, we approved a work order or an award for Aaron's to do the construction, so we also need a work order for our engineer to oversee the construction observation. So the ask is a motion to approve additional services for EC Fennell, work order number ECF 2024-015 for Warehouse 13 roof modernization in the amount of $64,752, increasing the total work order value to $191,433.40.
Okay. We have a motion to increase the total work order for EC Fennell. Commissioner Poole, have a second. Commissioner Enright, discussion. Go ahead.
I just want to know, the $64,752, how did that come up, change?
So the proposals that we've received from EC Fennell till this point was to get us through the design. So now that we're into the construction phase, I asked for a construction observation. So basically it's construction management.
Okay, and in addition to that, this is also part of a grant.
Yes, ma'am, it is. I should have said that sooner. Sorry.
And it's what, 50/50?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wayne?
Construction oversight sounds similar to what Commissioner Poole was speaking about. That we're going to discuss next month, so I'm looking forward to that conversation next month.
And
Okay.
Makes sense. Yes, it does.
My question, since, I just want to piggyback on that, with the $64,000, is that the average price that someone will call for construction oversight? How did you get this company to do that?
Well-
EC Fennell bring them, or you had an outside person, or what?
So when EC Fennell did the design, so they signed and sealed the drawings. And so part of the construction observation and project management of this project will be they have to, at the end, seal and certify that it was built in conformance with the plans. So regardless, they would need to be a part of the project. We could take a lion's share of the work away from them and either A, self-perform it or hire somebody else to do it. But since they need to be a part of the process in order to certify it was built in substantial conformance to the approved plans, it makes more sense to have one person on the job, and it's usually the engineer of record.
But my question to you is, they did not certify their own project. They had a company to do it. Right? They brought in a company, and they received the $64,000.
No, ECF will do the work themselves, and so we hired
They
ECF.
certified their own work. I guess that's my question.
Correct.
You understand what I'm asking him?
Well, they're not doing the work. They're certifying the construction is done according to the plans that they signed off.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, that's correct.
Any other questions? Okay. Do we do a motion this year?
We have a motion by Commissioner Poole. Second by Commissioner Evans.
And, all right, so now we just need a vote. All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Okay, next item, new business development program.
Commissioners, item I-4 is a motion to approve and ratify the new business development program policy. If you remember, over the last few months, there were several conversations in which the board wanted changes to two programs, the community outreach policy and also the commissioners' community grants. Staff worked really hard to marry those two together and make all the changes that the commissioners wanted. We've removed all the inactive memberships for an accurate record. We added the Navy League, which will be added back to the membership list. The board approval will be required for tickets that cost over $500 a ticket. For sponsorships and advertisement, requests must be submitted early through enough to be placed on the agenda for the board approval. Under the Commissioner's community grants, the annual allowance is increased from $3,000 to $4,000 per commissioner. The commissioner may have access to next year's physical funds if they run out of the funds, and really this is just a common sense. If you're in an election year, it's prorated. And then, as you can see on your dais, every commissioner should have a sheet, and it's basically a tracking sheet I asked Jackie to put together, which shows you all the items that you attended or bought tickets for last year, and it shows you where you are this year and what items may be coming up. And we thought that might be helpful for the board in order to see where they stand every year and what items they may have coming up for tickets and things of that nature.
I do have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
So tickets exceeding $500 per person must be approved by the board. Does that come out of the commissioners?
No, sir. That's out of the community, the community. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's out of the community outreach.
Out of the commissioners?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the ticket is $500, but does not exceed $500.
That's correct.
It comes out of the same pot. But if it's over $500, it must be approved by the board?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm curious as to, it's coming out of the same,
The dollar, we can adjust that however you want.
does that make sense though? I'm saying, if it's coming out of the commissioner's allocation, if it's 400 to 600, I'm not quite sure.
And Yadi can expand upon it.
So to answer your question, if it's coming out of the commissioner's community grants, then you don't need approval for that because that comes before the board anyway, right?
Okay.
If it's coming out of community outreach
Outreach.
and relations, which is a chamber event or an organization event that is not coming out of your pot of money, then yes, it will need board approval.
And follow up,
Go ahead.
how do we determine if it's coming out of the commissioner's outreach monies or out of the other pot?
So if we are, the port is a member of an organization, a chamber, then you have the right to get 2 tickets. So for example, the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches. You want to attend an event, you can get up to 2 tickets. Now, if those tickets exceed 500, then you would get board approval.
Okay.
Correct.
Am I right? So if that chamber has something, I can get 2 tickets, as long as they don't exceed $500.
Correct. And if they are over 500, just board approval.
If it's over 500, bring it to the board as well.
Right, unless it's coming from our own pot. If it's from your own pocket,
Thank you.
So as we explore this new policy, if we find out down the road that you want to change it again, it's not a hassle. We can go back to it and make additional changes as we need to.
Okay.
and then the election year piece, she told them about that. And it's chopped up because we had in the past where a commissioner is not running anymore, and he took all his money, he ripped it off. So we don't need to have that anymore.
Yeah, it's a prorated system.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, so we have a motion then to approve. Commissioner Richards, second. Commissioner Enright, any more discussion? All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Okay. Going on to new business, I guess.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. James Voyer, Director of Finance. I bring forward to you a motion to approve Agenda Item J1, the fiscal year 2026 Property and Casualty Insurance Renewal Program, as recommended by staff. The motion to approve authorizes the Port's Executive Director to sign contracts with the providers outlined in the renewal proposal. We are very pleased to present this program, which increases property equipment coverage from $48 million to $71 million, which reflects the current building and equipment replacement costs, resulting in a $24 million increase in insured values. In addition, we were able to reduce deductibles from 10% to 5%. We're also able to insure previously uninsured risk areas. The renewal premium, given all of the enhancements, is $119,000 less than the expiring policies. It's a 16% reduction. This result was accomplished through the professionalism and market reach of our new broker, Arthur J. Gallagher, led by Philip Ultimus, in coordination with Bruce Cunningham, the Port's Assistant Controller, and Port Management's heavy involvement in recognizing risk areas, proposing new carriers, and updating insurance values. Are there any questions?
Move approval, that's quite significant.
Yes, it is. Commissioner Richards, second. Commissioner Poole. Any other discussion on property and casualty? All in favor? Say aye. All opposed? Carries 5-0. Okay. Health.
Next item on the agenda, J2, a motion to approve the Employee Benefits Program renewal for the fiscal year 2026 as recommended by staff, most notably health, vision, and dental and supplemental benefits. The motion to approve authorizes the Port's Executive Director to direct our broker to bind the policies on behalf of the Port as represented in the renewal program. Our broker, the Gehring Group, led by Mark Rodriguez, conducted an extensive RFP process, marketing our program out to other carriers. After much negotiation, staff has recommended the attached proposal, in which our premiums increased by $257,000, or 22.1% increase.
I'm sorry, I have two motions.
Let them finish, and then you can make a motion.
Okay. Which is the best and final offer. Before we began negotiations, our initial indication was a 34.8% increase. The average increase for employers in Southeast Florida is 21.35%. The Port's renewal is 0.75% higher than that average. We were, however, able to increase our benefits program by adding an employee flexible spending account and Beyond Med with other discount, which offer discounts for various treatments, both of which voluntary. Any questions?
Go ahead, Wayne.
I have two motions. A move to approve the Gehring Group to replace the employee group health insurance policies, and B, the board is authorizing the ED to sign contracts as outlined.
What was the second one?
They were authorizing the executive director to sign contracts with Florida Blue for medical coverage, United Healthcare, dental, Humana Vision.
Okay. All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second, Commissioner. Any discussion? Under discussion, did we have we had the fair on
Yes.
Tuesday, and was that successful? Did people show up, understand the new Beyond Med plan that we've got, and the FSA? All the commissioners understand all that? No questions, concern? All right. All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Thank you. J3.
Next agenda item J3, motion to approve and adopt the fiscal year 2026 operating, renewal and replacement, and capital expenditure budgets through executing resolution number 2025-7. In August, we conducted a budget workshop, and since that time, we have incorporated into the budget year feedback, more accurate tenant information, economic factors affecting the budget to date. Today, the budget net income is $6,549,000, a slight decrease of $8,837 since the workshop. The renewal and replacement budget decreased by $20,000, and the capital improvement budget remains the same. I prepared a slide presentation to address the budget for 2026. The fiscal year 2026 operating budget contributes cash to the on-hand during the year by producing net income. The net income added to existing cash on hand provides the resources necessary for current and future spending on renewal and replacement and capital improvement projects. The overall spending on cash resources needs to be tempered with the required cash on hand as a safety cushion in the unlikely event operations need to continue without revenue streams. This slide basically shows the budget's effect on cash flow. The estimated cash flow at the end of this fiscal year, at the end of the month, is $36,252,000. Fiscal year 26 additions to cash is the net income of $6.5 million. Depreciation in amortization, a non-cash item, is $4,502,000. Grant receipts are estimated at $7,808,000. Those are the additions to cash. Subtracting from cash are our R&R spending of $4.87 million, capital improvement spending of $9.362 million, and the final bond payout at the end of this month of $4,139,000. So the ending cash is $35,743,000, which gives us 916 days operating cash on hand. It's also an increase in cash of about $490,000. This slide is basically a reconciliation of the budgeted net income during the workshop and the net income that's being proposed today, where we see the $858,700 decrease. Any questions regarding the budget?
Anybody have any specific questions? No? Good job. I think we're doing pretty good. So, all right, do we have a motion to accept the budget?
A motion approved?
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Poole, second Commissioner Richards. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries 5-0. Okay. Next item, J4. We do have a card on this, so we do have someone that wants to speak on it. Who's doing J4? Well, just a second. Wait, Jared. Who's doing that?
I am. I'm presenting it.
Well, start.
You want to have the card first?
Yeah, go ahead, Jared. Jared, come on up.
Hi, good afternoon. Jara Caswera with CEMEX. We're happy to be here today. We would like to respectfully ask the Board of Commissioners to defer this item for a short period until the November board meeting, so that we might have an opportunity to put together a proposal on what we can best offer the Port of Palm Beach. And being a longtime tenant, we feel that it's a respectful ask, and we would just like to ask for that deferral.
Okay. Thank you. Mike?
I have
Executive Director. Go ahead.
How long have you been a tenant at the port?
I don't know the exact year, but I can tell you it has been over 50 years. So we're a staple here in the community.
Okay.
So if there is an opportunity for us to try and put our best foot forward, we'd like just the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
You said November. I guess my question is, did the court give you a counter offer for this? Did it give you a counter offer? Could you tell me when the counter offer was given to you?
So the fourth quarter of last year, the CEMEX prepared a proposal and submitted it to the port director. and the port director returned a counter proposal to us. At the time, we were looking at...
Could you tell me when he returned the counter proposal to the dates? I'm looking at dates sometimes. As time is running.
I would say it wasn't very long after we submitted it. So I'm going to say October of last year, Commissioner.
A year ago. Well, not quite a year, give or take.
Correct.
And so did you all decide to get back with us, or you have not?
So we had a gentleman that was in communication with the executive director by the name of Santiago, and he communicated with him a few times over the course of from that period until about sometime after the first of the year, and let him know that we were working internally to determine what we could come back with that would be a respectful proposal to the port. And then what occurred was we had an internal organizational structure change. And when we did that, we lost our senior vice president of supply chain. And so we now have someone back in that position. But from the beginning of the year until now, we received a letter from the executive director that he did not want to recommend a renewal or a new agreement for us. And so now we feel like we just would like the opportunity to, a short time frame to put together a proposal and submit it to see if it might be, in the interest of the port.
All right, Mr. Meekins.
So item J4 is a motion to approve the silo agreement, user agreement with Ozinga Cement, and authorize the executive director to execute that agreement. Just a couple of conversations or quick statements on the statement that was made. At one point, CMEX did come, well, as the port knows, there's historically, the port has written a couple of letters to CMEX letting them know that we were not going to move forward with renewing their lease after it expired. Some of those letters were written prior to me being in this position, and I wrote one in the spring. In September of last year, CMEX did state that they were interested in staying. As always, we're open to conversation. We said make a proposal and give it to us, and we'll see what it looks like. They came to us with a proposal that we didn't think was very lucrative for the port at all. We went back to them with that, and essentially after that time period in September, I didn't hear anything from anybody until the time frame that I actually sent out the letter. So if it was more about having a conflict with the size of vessel that they're bringing into the port, which exceeds 85 feet in beam. So every time that happens, we have to push them out because we have another customer that can't get in because of it. As an example, they're sitting out right now while Sugar's in because we can't get both vessels in at the same time. So with that being said, we received an unsolicited proposal from Ozinga that was substantially more than anything else that we had seen. All totaled, it was an additional $8.6 million. The other thing I'll say is that currently Ozinga to date, the revenue that's generated to date is just over $1 million. Their tonnage amount is 250,000 tons on a minimum annual guarantee of 165,000 tons. To date, CMEX their revenue is 664,000. Their tonnage is 48,000, and their minimum annual guarantee is 150,000. So they probably will not make their minimum again this year. They have not made their minimum since they had started back up operations. They've been short every year.
How many years is that?
I believe it's.
Approximately.
I want to say I believe it's 4 years. It's the same time frame Ozinga came to the port is when they started back up.
Commissioner Richards?
A couple of questions and a comment.
Sure.
Is there any harm to the port if we were to defer this for 30 days?
I don't know that there's harm to the port. We have an agreement that's ready to be signed, so it's up to the board. It's the board's discretion.
That's not a good enough answer.
Well, I would have to ask Ozinga's in the audience and really.
The question is, if we don't approve this for 30 days, does Ozinga go away? Are they or do they significantly push back our operational start? That's
I don't think there's an issue with an operational start date. I think it's more of, are they comfortable with now having someone else send a proposal after they send a proposal?
all right. That's the question. And my comments are, I'm torn. I'm not torn a lot. If for years we have sat here and looked at those silos sitting silent. They look bad, and more importantly, simply getting the minimum, a check once a year at the minimum doesn't do much for us. So for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years, I would ask the question, when are we done with this? When is that over? And it was so far in the future, but guess what? We're here now. We're almost there. So the thoughts are, CMEX has set their own course. Now, Jared is a former port person, and she's made a request. So because of that, I'm considering, will it harm us to wait 30 days? If it weren't Jared, quite frankly, if it weren't if it were not the fact they've been here for 50 years, absolutely not. We've been waiting for this day. So I'm torn.
Okay, Jean?
I guess my problem is this. Okay. Business is business. He gave them the proposal, a counter offer last year. We're now in September. Let's talk real business. Gerald, I love you, but the problem is this. She told us October, November. You're saying 30 days. That's a whole different year. Now, she's all the way in November. And I have a serious problem with that because I feel that we should have received a response from CMEX a long time ago. And that's for him. Because we're talking about now, they're going to hang us out for 2 more months, Mr. Richards. And I don't think it's right. And if CMEX want to do something, do they come up? I just don't feel that we should wait. It's because we waited a year and now all of a sudden, if Mr. Lincoln had not placed this on the agenda for the day, the CMEX be here trying to see, can you give us 2 more months? And it's been a whole year. I mean, let's look at the calendar. It's been a year. And I think that's disingenuous. I mean, talking real business. And I think we should proceed with Ms. Ozina and that's business.
Anybody else?
She really can, are you talking for your company? You're the bottom line. You said 1 or 2 months. Look, we can be further than that. No, I would just go on and vote today and give the contract. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, Commissioner Poole?
I'll just add that in my reviews and discussions with Mr. Meekins, he's kept me updated with this process. And, you know, the posting coming in, if I were at a company, I would be on top of it. You know, I would make sure that I'm at least putting out, you know, a counter. I don't think that now we just go backwards. I think we need to move forward. I mean, Zinga's here. The revenue generation. I don't think we could turn our backs on it.
Okay. Percy, have anything?
Yes. For me, it's challenging because there's the practical, clear-cut answer, and then there's the emotional answer. And I do appreciate how long you all have been tenants here. That is something that I want to give great weight and consideration to. If there is an opportunity, you know, you have to look at, I want you all to logistically understand what Ozinga is offering us. They have the appropriately sized vessel under 85 feet, which fits. They have the, it's an additional $8.6 million. That's a lot of money. That they're additional money that they would be bringing from this contract. And then they meet their minimum tonnage requirements. So there's certain things that they are able to bring to the table that we as a port really need. That being said, out of the respect for you all and, you know, the time that you've spent here, and I want Ozinga to know as well, you can expect the same loyalty if you were a long-standing tenant as CMEX were. I am inclined to grant you the 30 days to kind of logistically figure things out and maybe process the future or just decide what might be the best fit. These are some considerations that are just very, very hard to pass up on. I do still have a responsibility to the community and to the port to make the best economic decisions. I would vote in favor of granting you that time to kind of process whatever it is that you all need to process.
All right, thank you.
And I one additional thing. If Ozinga, if in a month we do move forward with this contract, I would just respectfully like you to take into consideration all of CMEX's employees, and if there's any openings for jobs there, I would like you to consider their employees so that people have a continuous line of employment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jared, do you have something else you want to say?
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would just like to add that this agreement before you today doesn't go into effect for almost 3.5 years. So we still are tenants here for 3.5 years, and we would just like to, to be able to have that opportunity. If this agreement is approved at some point this month or next month, then Ozinga will not be a tenant at this facility for 3.5 years almost.
Go ahead.
And that's a problem, because we're not desirous of getting a minimum check, and that's it. We want everything that goes along with vessels coming in and out. So if you're not going to be here, it would be either you're here long term or you're not. But continuing what you've been doing is not. It's contractually we're obligated. You're obligated, but it's not advantageous.
And when the terminal was recommissioned, it's cost millions and millions of dollars just to get it to the point it is now. We're continuing to invest money into it so we continue to grow that commitment to the port like we're obligated to do and happy to do.
What can you say about the beam of the vessel? Your vessel is 85 feet and it doesn't fit here. You have to be offshore.
Our vessel contractually moves for other tenant vessels. And I've also been told that our vessel, at times our vessel might be a tad bit wider than the Ozinga vessel, but I would have to refer to someone in operations for that, Commissioner.
All right, well, thank you, Chair.
Of course.
Mr. Makins, do you have anything else you want to finish?
If I could, just going back historically, at the time period where CMEX started operations again, or they started to work on the terminal, Manuel Almera went ahead and sent them a letter with the board's approval, letting them know that they were doing that at their own risk and that they were spending their money not knowing or not having the support of going forward after 2028.
Right. The only thing I wanted to add is I understand what CMEX is saying, but last minute reprieve showing up at the meeting, I don't think that was the right thing to do. They had plenty of time basically to negotiate, and Ozinga's been up front pretty much with everything they've done since they moved in here. So I personally am, even though I'm sympathetic to CMEX's plight, I'm in favor of passing the motion, and I don't think if we wait 3 months it's going to make any difference. So I'm going to go along with staff. I spent a lot of time going over this with the staff, and I think it's the right thing to do. So,
Mr. Chairman?
yes, sir.
I would make a motion that we verify to exclude the contract with Ozinga and
Okay.
I will second that.
Second, Commissioners, any discussion?
I'm going to
discussion?
no, not.
Okay.
I'm going to vote against it.
Okay, that's fine.
Just
All
out
right.
of protest. So.
All right, very good. All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Are you opposed?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
just out of respect. I would give them the 30 days.
Okay. All right, passes 4-1. Okay, thank you. Next item.
Item number J5, suggested action is a motion to approve and authorize the executive director to sign the foreign trade zone operator agreement with Viking Sport Cruises. Viking Sport Cruises is right down the road. They bring in a lot of yachts. they want to take advantage of the tax deferment, bringing in those vessels.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I got a question
What
too.
value added work are they going to do? Do you know?
So I don't know that there's any value added. They simply applied for the foreign trade zone. So right now we have about 8 that are taking advantage. I think we'll be down to 7. But they're right down the street. They're obviously bringing in a lot of money's worth of yachts and don't want to have to pay the taxes up front. So it gives them that tax advantage.
What annual revenues do we expect?
It's not for us. They pay a fee of $4,000 a year. It does come to us, but it's only a fee for the foreign trade zone.
4,000?
That's it. They're not a tenant. They're not actually doing any of that. This is just the foreign trade zone.
Yeah, we've never really made any money on foreign trade zones. Most ports, I don't think
They do not. Yes, this is just an advantage of being in the district. That companies can take advantage of bringing in goods and not having to pay the tax on them until they sell them.
I think years and years ago, I think a lot of foreign trade zones that did auto parts and things like that, I think they put together the parts and then shipped them back out, didn't have to pay tax.
That's correct.
Right, so, but that's not this, so. All right, we have a motion, Commissioner Richards, second, Commissioner Enright. Any discussion? All in favor, all opposed, carries 5-0. Okay, next item is Executive Director Performance Evaluation. So I think we've got the evaluation. Okay. Okay, any questions? That looks pretty good. All right, very good. So after, the motion is to review the performance evaluation set forth in the First Amendment employment agreement with Michael Meekus to improve the 1-year extension. And I had a discussion with the director, and I came up with a $270,000 salary for the next year. So we'll add that part of the J6 motion. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Well, I guess my question is, you said 270?
270.
I'll be able to get.
Okay.
Ms. Meekins, I think you've done a very, very good job. The only area that I think I did not give you a near perfect score, and will be phenomenal with development, phenomenal with running the port, working with staff. It's not easy, but please continue to reach out to the entire board, and even if you get some pushback from certain areas, try to push through that and get to all 5 of us. It's not easy, I understand that, but I think you can do it. So
Yes, sir.
That's one area I'd say, please continue to, even if you don't feel the love and support, we need, all of us have to work with you. So continue to push.
Understood.
I think you'll get a positive response.
I have a,
Here-
oh, go on, go on.
I would echo Commissioner Richards' sentiments. I would also say that the revenue growth is really one of the highlights. And certainly the relationship with staff and the investment in staff and staff development, I think is really exceptional.
Thank you.
Okay, Marissa, go on.
Yeah, so I know for a fact that you reach out to every board member before every meeting to actually come in and go through the agenda. I know that you do that, so I'm not really sure exactly how continuing to, I mean, he's already putting in the effort to do that. You can't make someone physically come in. I also would encourage all commissioners, you know, it's great to actually go in and review the agenda before you vote on it, because you get a clearer idea of the more technical aspects of what we're voting on. And it's just a great opportunity to really know what you're voting on prior to walking in here. Next, I would just like to say, I don't recall, what is your current salary?
255.
255. Okay. What is the standard raise increase for?
I don't know that there's a standard anywhere. I think it's all performance-based at this level, and every port and every commission has their own interaction on what they think that should be.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, just,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, just for the record, that some of us do go in and do talk to the executive director before the meeting. I don't think any of us really go in cold, whether it's talking directly to him or talking to B or talking to any of the staff, so I think all of us are pretty diligent before the meeting on that. So that's encourage that, and if you can go in, it's even better. So, all right. So we have a motion, Commissioner Richards. Do we have a second? Mr. Enright. Any further discussion? And just say, good job. And I saw that you did get actually some 4s, which means you can't do any better. But next year we'll have to change it to 5, and we'll see if we can get you up there. So,
Raise the bar.
exactly. No one really should get 4s, but there's always room for a little improvement.
Absolutely.
Except for the commissioners. We don't really need any improvement. All right, so if there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Comments from the public. We don't have any more cards. Comments from the commission. Anyone have anything they would like to say? Oh, okay. Usually you have to fill out a card, but go ahead. No, go ahead. Come on, go ahead. We didn't get a card from you, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hi.
Your name?
Laura Levitis.
Okay.
And I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a candidate for State House Rep, District 87. And I just wanted to let you know I exist. And I'm here. And I'd like to meet with all of you.
Great.
That's
Great.
it.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okie doke. All right. So, DeAndre, you have anything?
Nothing further.
Chris, anything? Okay, then the next meeting looks like it's October 16th at 4 o'clock. And that okay with everybody? Okay. We're adjourned.